There we go. I was wondering why the mic wasn't working there. I was trying to look at the bar, just trying to make sure the voice was coming in, but it wasn't for some reason. It was set to quote unquote default. Yeah, so good thing I figured that out now. Yeah, I've sort of gone into a habit of making sure my OBS is working 100% before I start yapping and trying to do stuff. So yeah, worked out pretty good. So anyways, here we are with Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition PK Player Killers Clan tournament matches tonight. We finished the remainder of the group stage ones yesterday, but now we're going to be looking at some round of 32 ones that we didn't get to on Monday. Yeah, I said I was going to save it for the weekend because obviously we had to get through all those group stage ones pretty much. Now we can go back to where we left off on Monday in the tournament. I wonder if we'll be able to do a group of 16 starting at the beginning of the week or so. That'd be pretty cool. But either way, here we are. Let me share the Discord. Let me share the stream with all the Discord servers before we begin, and then we can get right started with it, alright? So how you all doing tonight? It's about 11:15 or so in the Eastern time zone. So yeah, pretty late, 11:15 p.m. Yep. But I still think it's a pretty good idea to get it going now, so that's pretty cool. Absolutely. So yeah. Hopefully you enjoy some good Definitive Edition 3 games tonight with me. We'll try to go through as many series as we can. We only got about 4 of them to do, so yeah, it really depends on how I'm feeling. If I could get through a series and I sort of feel like I'm slowing down a bit with my brain, I'll probably just stop and do the rest of them tomorrow. Yeah, that's sort of the idea. So, yep, should be pretty good. Had a pretty eventful day today. Got some recordings done for Wars of Liberty and Definitive Edition stuff. And looking forward to next week where we get to look at a ton of new mods and stuff. That should be really nice. Absolutely should be quite wonderful. So yeah, definitely. What else? I don't know. I don't know what else. Yeah. Let me see here. Well, let's see where I am in the whole Discord server thingy. I'm scrolling through. Should almost be done. Yeah, hopefully. Okay. Feels a bit weird starting at 11:15 at night, honestly. I'm much more used to doing it around 5 or 6 p.m. typically. Definitely feel a bit drowsier when you do it a bit later, honestly. So, I don't know. We'll probably get through 1 to 2 series tonight, I would assume. Hopefully 2. I'll try to get through 2 of them, and then maybe I'll do the other 2 tomorrow night. Maybe. Unless we have to do STS Racing or something. Yeah. Well, we'll see. If I can get through them all tonight, I will. There's no reason not to. Yeah, it helps the views on the stream as well. So, yeah, I may as well do it that way. But anyhow, yep, I think I'm about halfway done. Moving along pretty quickly through all these Discord servers, and then we should be able to start. Wouldn't that be lovely? Yeah, absolutely. It's taking a while to load there. Hopefully everything's good. Yeah, let's see where I'm at. Around this spot. Why did somebody post a picture of a rhino? That's weird. Why is there a rhino over there? What's a rhino doing there? It's a nice looking rhino. I like rhinos. Real rhinos, not the political ones. The political ones are not that good. Let's see. Copy paste. Copy paste. Yep. If only I had a wonderful AI tool to do this for me. I always say that nobody creates one. You know, I'll probably be saying it until I get to like 1,000 years old or something. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I'll be 1,000 years old still copy and pasting URLs into Discord servers whenever I stream, and no little helper there to, get it done for me, basically. Which is super obnoxious, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, yep. Let me see how many servers I have to do left. Only a few. I'm almost done, which is great. Very good. What's up in here? I think I got 2 more, and we should be all... Or 3. Today's. I think I got today's. Yeah. I always forget that one up there. Actually, I'll do Quattro. Yeah, that one too. Yeah. Okay, I think we're all good now. Should have them shared with enough Discord servers. So let's begin now, shall we? So last time we finished it with Keter Boy versus Azamk. Now we get to begin with Lucas L versus Aliug. So let's see who wins this series in the round of 32. Just as a reminder, it is a best out of 3 still. So they start on Great Plains, and then they move on to Saguenay, and then if nobody wins at that point, they'll go on to Mongolia. Yep, so here we are on Great Plains. We got Lucas L as the Aztecs, and Aliug is the Haudenosaunee. Aliug has been a very solid Haudenosaunee throughout this tournament, so I expect Aliug to deliver pretty well here. However, they will be going up against the Aztecs, so that should be a very interesting matchup to say the least. Aztecs putting up their community plaza as well as their market right now. This is basically how every Aztec typically starts. Right away you want a community plaza as Aztecs. It's because you get this wonderful unit called a warrior priest. Not only does it have the functions of a priest, it can also work at the community plaza, and actually does so a little bit stronger than the villagers. So with just 1 warrior priest on that community plaza, you can actually generate up to 1 experience point per second when you're on the XP dance at that community plaza. So, again, 1 XP trickle per second. It does make quite a bit of difference, and then as you go on later and later into the game, you'll be able to get up to 10 of these warrior priests, and you'll be churning a ton of XP out. Or if you want to put on the attack dance, you can do that. Or if you need to send the emergency archers, you can do that. So, yeah, Aztecs are one of those Native American civs that always uses the community plaza. I feel like a lot of the time, the community plaza just never gets used by the Hods or Lakota or Incas, but Aztecs seem to use it all the time. You always see Aztecs using that community plaza. Well, actually, I see Incas use it quite a bit too, particularly for their wood trickle dance, I think. So, yeah, definitely. So, let's check these decks out and try to figure out KP Boom Jagawa. So this is going to be a push towards Jag Knights, I'm assuming. Yep, seems like it. Now, it is going to be a bit interesting because the opponent is running Haudenosaunee here. Haudenosaunee, as you know, very hyper-aggressive civ. They are one of the easiest rush civs, I would say, to learn. Just simple, use a Travois to make a forward war hut, pop out tons of AN archers and tomahawks until the enemy surrenders. Yeah. So, yep, that's what I'm assuming we're going to get here. Yep, just like this. 2 archer cards, a tomahawk, and a Kanye West Horseman. The Kanye West Horseman is sort of the wild card one, which can sometimes give you a pretty good advantage, since it's great for taking out skirmisher-type units and artillery. But really, the backbone is going to be your archers and your tomahawks there, when you're pushing on somebody. So, we'll see how Aliug does in this particular situation. Right now, they are going for a 30 food treasure. Is that right? Yep, absolutely. Aztecs already aging up with the messenger there. And Aztecs actually have a way of getting a fast age up again. Even though they use the messenger for their first age up, they can use Kalmakek to take any given age up that they're doing and research it twice as fast. So it's like getting double messenger, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Out of the gate, Aztecs are always going to go for their town center big button here. It costs a bit of food, and what it does is pretty spectacular. It gives you early access to about 4 Jag Knights, right? These Jag Knights are very impactful. They have multipliers against cavalry, but they also have multipliers against heavy infantry. So, part musket, part skirmisher in terms of their stats. So, in general, they're going to be really good for slicing through really anything, just about. And you can also put them into stealth as well and ambush opponents. Oh wow, look at this. RNGesus. RNGesus, man. Oh man, look at that. Whoa. Wow. Whoa. Wow. Oh. Can you believe that? The Jag Knights just happened to show up there right where Aliug was putting the war hut with the Travois. That is some crazy luck right there. And even gets rid of the villager that was in the position as well. Takes out a vill and a war hut. That's pretty good. I mean, the Aztecs are already off to a good start right now. Quite a good start. Also going to take out the war chief as well. Wow, this is really good. Oh man, look at that. Yeah. See, the thing is with the Aztecs, their war chief gives them a XP aura. So when you're fighting as Aztecs, you always try to make sure you kill the unit with the non-war chief, because the war chief is extending his XP aura to the other units, but not himself. So if you can take out an explorer with like a Jag Knight, did you see how much XP he got? He got like 209. So yeah, same thing to buildings too. You'll get like a ton of XP from like taking out buildings. Like taking out an Agrafor gives you like 600 XP. It's crazy. Let's see right here. 5 villages coming out. Very nice. Looks like he is currently on about 6 warrior priests at the Community Plaza right now. Pretty much with Aztecs, you're going to ship this card in as soon as you reach age 2. It gives you 3 more warrior priests, so a total of 4 on the Community Plaza, and that allows you to jumpstart yourself to producing more warrior priests over time with the warrior priest stance at the Community Plaza. So right now he's on about 7. He's going to about to get number 8. After such a good initial push right there, he can afford to get all 10 of them, I think. Pretty safely, yeah. Haudenosaunee in a bit of a rough patch right now. They lost their forward war hut and they actually had to reconstruct another one. Yep, they had to chop quite a bit of wood there to do that. So what they're going to do now is they're going to try to come back by shipping their 4 Kanye West horsemen and starting to train up archers. Yeah, basically. So here's about 2 archers and there's 4 Kanye West horsemen there. Quite good. Some more vills coming out. Very nice. He's going to go Aena Bowman. I think that's pretty appropriate there. You're going to definitely need those to fight Jag Knights, I would say. Ooh, the 210 XP treasure there. That's what the Haudenosaunee needs to make up for their loss. Yeah. 600 wood. Yep, get some wood there. You're going to need that infrastructure to make up for whatever those Aztecs did to you there at the start. Taking out a war hut, taking out your villager. You need anything you can get as far as resources is concerned. So, let's see here. Where are we at? Aztecs got their war hut up right now, so they can start producing things. Looks like they did train a Puma Spearman, is that right? Okay, he is going, Oh, he almost sent Kalmakek by accident there. Yeah, that would have been bad. Yep, try to ship in about 9 on Taunt and Slingers, it looks like. Yep. Question is, though, can you keep these anti-cap alive? Because you're going to need them there to basically ensure that those Taunts don't become lunch to that cavalry. Oh, yeah. He does have his Community Plaza churning out the emergency archers right now, too. All hands on deck for the defense. Right now, it looks like the archers are... Yeah, you're going to want to make sure you micro these warriors to fight the Aena Bowman and not the cavalry as much. Because, yeah, basically, their range attack is most useful against the weaker targets first, and then you can fight the cavalry, I would say. Yeah. Alright, going for Kalmakek now, though. Yep, because it's actually planned age up at this stage. Quite nice. So, I'm expecting we're going to get a quick age up there. Into 2 noble huts and a Jag Knight shipment, I would assume. Yeah. Alright, so what's Alioga doing at this point? Shipping in an Anna Bowman shipment there, training some more Anna Bowman as well. So going archer, archer, archer. Tons of archers. Okay, so the Kalmakek has been activated there with the Elder. Yep, the Elder will grant about 2 noble huts, which you can train your more elite troops with. That being your Jag Knight, your Arrow Knight, and your Eagle Knight. Also training up a few Coyote Runners too. With so many archers, you're going to need some sort of hand cab to do that. Since Aztecs obviously don't get mounted cavalry, they get the Coyote Runner instead, which counts as something called shock infantry. Which is basically just cavalry on foot. Yeah. Works basically the same, except the multipliers and malices and stuff are a bit different. Yeah. Okay, so the Coyote Runner's right now on top of the archers there. Archers shake them off pretty easily and wipe out all of the range units. Yep. Let's see what this Aztecs ends up going for now, because now they have to deploy their noble huts. One over here, one over there. How much horsemen do you got over there? Very good. We got about 8 of them. Yeah, ocho. Warrior priests. Son, you gotta get these into combat now. You gotta come up with a game plan there because you're getting creamed there. You don't really want to lose too many of these warrior priests because they're very critical to your XP production, to your attack of your units. You gotta keep them going. What is he doing with them now? He's just letting them get hit there by the archers or something? Oh, he's got the Jag Knights out. Very nice. Looks like he sent his big bun in and then he shipped his 9 Jag Knight shipping as well. Let's see if those Jag Knights were enough to clean up here. They should be because these are upgraded to the veteran upgrade. So, yeah, should be enough, I would assume. Looks like it's working. I mean, look at how much he's cleaning up there at this rate. Yeah. War Chief doing a bit of attacking now. Also some more emergency units coming out too. Should be able to handle it. Yep. Looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. Taking out the Anna. Very nice. Sending in a 10 Coyote Runner shipment. That should finish off the archers, I would assume. Yep. And force them onto some sort of tomahawk at this point. Yeah. But do watch out though. The Haudenosaunee is currently in possession of a corral there, producing more Kanye West horsemen, so it's going to go sort of skirmisher hand cav at this point. Try to complement each other. Yep, very nice. Let's see, you got about 10 Coyote Runners here, right? And then sending in Temple of Zype Totek. This gives you a nice batch of 7 coyotes, and also gives them more damage and gives them more armor. So it turns them into a much more ferocious hand cav, honestly. Still has some Jag Knights too, so has an answer to the Kanye West Horsemen, sorta. He's gonna get the veteran upgrade up on those Coyote Runners too, since he's investing so many into their numbers. Yep, very good. What do we got here? More Warrior Priests coming out. How much did he lose there? Right now he's on about 6, so he took a bit of a hit there, honestly. It's gonna take him a while before he can recover the missing 4 ones he doesn't have, yeah. Alright, so where are we at now on this? Haudenosaunee getting their warrior attack to beef up their archers, their tomahawks, and their forest prowess. He's adding in tomahawk now. Yep, a very important pivot there since, you know, he's going with coyotes at this point. Oh man, look at that. Look at all the Coyote Runners coming on his archers there. Very good. Wow, 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 wow. Whew. That's a lot of archers there, man. Crazy. Kind of lost a lot of stuff there, right? Oh, big time. I mean, Aztec has a little bit of troops left, but hey, I'm surprised those archers held the line so good with a bit of support. And now you got some tomahawks mixed in too to help out even better. Yeah, Aliug's holding on pretty nice there, honestly. Took a lot of hits there early on, but holding strong right now. Yeah. Also, they got their community plaza right here, so they're going to be starting to use dances as well. Right now is on the War Chief dance to get the War Chief back. It's very critical that you fight using your War Chief as the Haudenosaunee, because the Haudenosaunee War Chief provides additional stats to the nearby troops, so leads to much more consistent fights if you have the War Chief present. Yeah. Now it's going to add Veteran onto the Anton Slinger, it looks like, so going a bit more Skirmisher. Also training up some more Jag Knights, yeah. Problem is you have no definitive way of dealing with these archers at all, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Yep, here comes some Coyote Riders coming out. Perfect. You're going to need some sort of hand cab there to fight those archers, at least a little bit. Yep, heard those hunting. Great. Jag Knight's chasing the Kanye West Horsemen off of this front. Wow, look at some vulnerable longhouses there. I wonder if you could take those out, honestly. That would help punish the Hods a bit. It would cut them down by, like, I think, like 30 pop there. That could be quite good. Absolutely, take them out. Yeah, snipe them. Then the Hods will get housed, and they'll have to readjust their whole macro just to recover them. He's already housed. If you can take out the R1 too, it'll be even worse. Very good. Get that longhouse there. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Now you're going to want to get out, though, because this is a pretty ferocious army of infantry right here. So I would be careful. I'd be careful and only engage when you're ready to strike. Phil's going to have to back up, though. Yeah. So going for the Temple of Quetzalcoatl support card there. Gives you about 12 Antonins and gives them more HP and range. Pretty solid. Kind of going to need everything you can get here against so much infantry. Also has the attack dance active on the community plaza, beefing up the attack of all the troops by 20%. Not bad. So Coyotes and Jags going in. Let's see if they get rid of the Kanye West Horsemen. I think that's most key there. And then use the rest of your energy to take out as much of that infantry as you can, yeah. Seems to be working kind of good. I mean, I think the problem is there's so many archers there that the Jag Knights just can't break through their line at all, unfortunately. Slingers, yeah, slingers aren't going to be enough to hold that, especially with so many tomahawks and archers present. It's not good. Absolutely not. Comes a Coyote Runners here. Let's see if he can sort of back up over there with the slingers. Very good. Ooh, man. Yeah. Going for Eagle Knights now, right? 6 Urks. That's what we call the Eagle Runner Knights. We call them Urks. It's a lot easier to say Urk, Urk, like that. Essex also going for a native alliance with the Cheyenne. They were until the Huds destroyed that trading post conveniently. Yeah. So where are we at now on this whole thing? Wow, losing the Ville. Ugh, that's not good. What's going on over there? Gonna get a war hut down over there now. Wow, snaring some of the archers there. Not bad. Good attrition there. Take out as many as you can. You go in as many as you can, yeah. Do it. Ton slingers, perfect. See if we can snare the tomahawk. Ooh, interesting. Snaring tomahawks. Actually taking a few of them out. Oh, hey, the Warhawk took out another one. Anything you can do to whittle down those HOD numbers, I think, is great. Also, this is the last card by HODs before they run out of cards, by the way. So, they better make it count, yeah. They better make it count. Doing double Warhawk tomahawks right now, looks like, yeah. Not using the community plaza yet. They probably will when they go for a major fight there to put on the attack dance. So going Kanye West Horseman with tomahawks now. Well, Aztecs are going mass on the Anton and Slingers and some Eagle Runner Knights there, some Urks. I like how he's sacrificing the emergency archers first there, so now the actual troops end up croaking, which is good. Okay, so the Urks are clearly aimed onto the Kanye West Horsemen quite good there, while the Slingers deal with the rest. One more horsey there and should be all good. It's partly good. Oh, he's got more of them too. Look, another reinforcement batch of them. Gonna have to kite those a bit with the Urks, I think, yeah. Alright, so Kaira is pushing at the archers, very good. So Kairas are going to have to back up now beyond the Warhead, very good. Alright, so 8 villages shipping in, more on tons, training up, yep. Let's look at the resources. So, Hods has food, got a bit of coin. Aztecs got coin, wood, and some food, so, yeah. I think the big difference is that the Aztecs can at least send cards, whereas the Hods are kind of trapped right now. They kind of have to maintain some army presence there and not give any sort of ground. And hopefully eventually make it into H3, if that's even possible at this stage. Because right now it's sort of a little complicated right now. Yeah, basically, since he has like no consistent, really good crates anymore, HUDs are basically forced to just keep training military to try to beat out the Aztec one in sort of like a war of attrition. Now, the advantage of the Aztecs is obviously they're in the Fortress Age, so they got more elite troops, and then the H2 troops now at least have the veteran upgrade, right? And again, he can upgrade the Knights even further. he can pick up these shipments, he can get wood, he can even start saying golden. So it really is going to be up to the Aztecs if they can hold their ground and gradually fight out their opponent there, yeah. Now, the Aztec did get housed right now, so he's going to have to quickly do something about that. Yep. Maybe build a few more houses there too, since he got so much wood. He's going to batch in some more coyotes, right? Yep, may as well. Bring in some more Urks and coyotes and slingers. So, a skirmisher. Eagle Round Knights can be thought of as like Aztecs variant of the Dragoon, since it's a ranged shock infantry, which means basically like a Dragoon on foot. And then, of course, you got your shock infantry, the Coyote Runner, basically your hand cavalry. So, yeah, pretty good mix. Kind of like what you would see with, say, the French, except instead of being on nice horses and having rifles, you got slings and spears and running around on your feet. Yeah. Alright, so Coyote Runners can run right at the archers now. Tomahawks are here right in the middle. Yep, see, he's going to do a micro there to get the Tomahawks in the front and slide in the cavalry. Very good. Slingers fighting the archers there, very nice. Ooh, good rating there. I think it's over for the Hods now, right? Yeah, no. He's got like nothing but coin at this point. And look at all the shipments going to waste because he has no cards. Yeah, that just came down to bare attrition there, I think. You know, Aztecs were able to get the age up, able to keep having cards available. They were just going to win out in the end there anyways, yeah. Very good Lucas L situation there, yeah, absolutely. So now we're going to look at game number 2. Find where that is. Should be right over here, this one. So let's see game number 2 now. Lucas L is the Chinese and Aliug is the Haudenosaunee. So obviously in this situation, Aliug is going to do their best civ the Haudenosaunee again, and now Lucas L is going to give the Chinese a try. So China versus Hods. Typically, I think China usually can do pretty well against the Hods. Usually they can. Because the thing is, with the Chinese, you got the Summer Palace, so you got a whole nother big boy structure there that the Hods have to deal with usually, and that's if he's even going with the Summer Palace. Could be going for a solid fast fortress with China. I think in that case, you know, all those wonderful Fortress Age Chinese units can usually in the right numbers really deal with the HOD pretty well. That's typically what I've found when I used to do ranked in D about a few years ago. Yeah. Export forward base rush. So this is going to be some sort of H2 aggression, I'm assuming, based on the name of that. Whereas HUDs, I'm presuming going to run a very similar deck here. I would expect, you know, the two Bowman, the Kanye West shipment, the Tomahawk shipment there. So yep, pretty much all that. Oh, interesting. So this time Haudenosaunee is going to go the water boom route, starting to make fishing boats. Is that right? Yeah. So we're probably going to get a naval-friendly deck here too, right? Yep. Where's the dock at, by the way? So the dock is going to be right over here. It looks like, yeah, no, this looks like just the same old land deck, except he's going for a dock there. Yeah. Basically, how he was able to do that is basically he was able to use his Travois to make it. So yeah, basically a free 200 wood building using that Travois, which is totally good. So now the Haudenosaunee can make some villagers, but can also train in the fishing boats at the same time. Yeah.
Another
15 vills, and how many fishing boats? About 2? Yep. Okay. Oh, 3 actually, so about 18 gatherers total. Not bad. Can now age up with Messenger, right? Yep, go up with the Messenger. It's a fast age up. Will set you up pretty good for some aggression. So, in this situation, Lucas L ended up going with the French consulate with the Summer Palace. It is a combination we do see sometimes. Basically, you go for the French consulate for the more effective age up, and then you couple it with Summer Palace so you can get some banner armies instead of going for a straight up fast fortress. Yeah, I think that's the safer bet here, because you know the Haudenosaunee is one of the easiest aggro civs to use, so you gotta prepare for that and have some sort of defense to all that stuff. You can't just write it off as a fast fortress and hope that everything works, because, as you know, the Haudenosaunee, if given the power, is just gonna like pin you into your town center using tomahawks and archers, and then all the good of that age up is kind of eroded, right? If you can complete it, that is. Alright, so looks like Summer Palace is sent to Standard Army for now. I wonder if he'll switch it or just keep it on. Gonna go for the H2 canoe shipment. I think that's pretty good. Only thing that could sort of chump block that out would be the Kanye West shipment from the HOD side, yeah. Trying to also went for their Cree settlement there, so they're also going to be able to queue up some of these Cree CBDs as well. Basically has the same stats and gather rate of the Courrier de Bois villages of the French, thus being a good asset to have alongside your regular vills. Yeah. So China's going to go for their 7 step riders now. So they already sent their skirmisher out, now they just got to send their hand cavalry in to go after the archers, right? Yep. Now, compared to the Coyote Runners, the Step Riders are actually going to be quite ferocious, because they're also a 1-pop cav unit, but Step Riders have multipliers too, so they'll do a lot more damage. Oh man, here comes the rush. Step riders riding out to the front there to attack the units. Very nice. So he got Chukunu. Ooh, some disciples too. Looks like he made some disciples with the Shaolin Master there. Beautiful. The Kung Fu will take out the cavalry. Very good. See if we can take that one out too. Yeah. Here comes the Quang pikemen shipping now to help siege down that war hut. Still got disciples alive. This is a bit challenging here for the HOD because now the war hut is under siege, and the China still has some shock infantry, which the disciples count as well as skirmishers to engage with the archers, while the pikes basically, yep, they siege the structure down. Has a couple of step riders in from the standard Banner Army Summer Palace batch there. Great. Also gonna... Alright, I would back off now if I was trying to... Yeah. HODs are pretty burnt out at this point. Look, they have no coin. Wood amount's pretty low too. Whereas Chinese got a ton of food, got a ton of gold even as well for the stage, so doing quite good. Ooh, nice. Get that volley going. Perfect. Surround, surround, surround. Very nice. Keep going. A lot of value. I'm going to sleep now. Goodbye. Yep, thanks for coming to watch, man. Ooh, nice. Going after the corral now. Beautiful. Take that out. Where are we here on this side? Gonna siege the war hut there. Good. Basically finishing off the HODs very strongly. Yep. But they're gonna fight back with their Tomahawk shipment. Some and a Bowman that just came out, and yeah, pretty much. The addition of these Rattan shields from the Rattan shield shipment should be pretty good against the archers, I would say, once they can connect. Even has a few step riders too, so it's not going to be easy there for the HODs to survive this, I would say. Definitely not. Not only that, China's getting ready for a fortress age too. Look at their gold amount right there. They're likely going to go for Confucian Academy, get about 8 free Arquebusiers, and then come back again. On top of whatever shipment they're going to send. What does he have here for... You could go Handmores and like siege them out. Either's gonna go for that or the Meteor Hammers, I would say. Yeah. Picking up the first hunting and mining tech as well. Very nice. So how does Hods try to come back here? So right now they got about 12 Tomahawks and about 5 Aenas. They're going to add in more Aenas. Going for conservative tactics. Get the stats up by 10%. Both the HP and range attack, yeah. Going for the Kree Trackers, that's a powerful move. Basically, the Kree Trackers are a very tanky skirmisher. They have an HP of about 273. That's really good for a skirm. Actually, that's going to put these skirms on par with like Janissaries in terms of HP stats. So, pretty good support to use on this map. Okay, running the Stepwires and Rattans here. But Hods are going to pull in their Tomahawks to try to sort of slice right through them. Very good. However, China is in Fortress Age now, and they have Arquebusiers too, so Tomahawk Mass will be grinded down, whether he likes it or not, yeah. GG. Lucas L did a pretty good job in this series, I would say. Absolutely. Quite consistent. So, yeah. Let's go on to the next one, I think. You want me to do one more? Yeah, we could do one more. Let's do the Sheikh versus Izad series while we're here. Yeah. This one. Oh no, it's Izad versus Chef Siddiqui. We already did Sheikh earlier. Yeah. Okay, so Chef Siddiqui versus Izad. I think this is the first game, but hopefully it is. Yep. Alright, so we are on the right map. Good. So Izad is running Brits, and Chef Siddiqui, of course, is going to run his signature Civ, the Portuguese. So Portugal versus British. This can always be a pretty chaotic matchup, I would say. In this situation, obviously Portugal is always going to go for a straight up fast fortress, so they can get a total of 3 town centers that they can work with. There's really no reason for Portugal to ever go to H2 gameplay, because they're literally denying themselves a town center by doing that, so fast fortress is always going to be the Portuguese play. Like, it has to be. If you're doing anything else as Portugal, it better work good, because, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So, yep, and then the Brits, of course, are going to go for a manor boom as well. They're going to be pumping out as many manor houses as they can to get extra vills. And in total, they can get up to 20 extra villagers between those manor houses. So, yep, we'll see how manor boom does against Portuguese town center boom. Yeah. Should be a pretty cool matchup, to say the least. So, yeah, definitely. We'll check out the decks as well to see what they might be running. They could be odd, too. So this is the Brit deck here. 1v1. AAA. So we got Threeville, Pioneers, Royal Decree, Spice Trade, HP Attack, Musket Longbow. Seems okay. Seems alright. Siege Archery. We don't see a lot of Siege Archery. I appreciate a man that uses Siege Archery with Longbowmen. Wonder if we'll even see that be used here today, perhaps. Could be nice, seeing Siege Archery be used. Essentially gives the Longbowmen a much longer siege range so they can stand from a lot farther back to do their siege damage. Yeah. Going up with the Naturalist, right? Yep, the Naturalist. It's the most solid politician you could go for with Portugal for a fast fortress because it gives you 400 ready-to-eat food right away between the two cows. And of course, 2 extra villagers too, which definitely helps you out with mid-game economic acquisition for sure, so that'll be good. Now, so these say running a standard deck, right, for Portugal? Sending in Fitolias first, so all his town centers will trickle a bit of resources. Fraction of a little bit of food, wood and gold at the same time. Brits going up with Governor. Yep, there's their gold, there's their outposts. Let's see where the Brits forward base. So they're going to put the barracks right here, and then put the outpost quite close to it as well, looks like, yeah. Yep, sent in about 700 wood. Very nice. Three longbowmen, perfect. 4 longbowmen, very good. So yeah, I would say probably in this situation you want to open up with longbowmen as the Brits because that way you'll be more receptive to the Portuguese comp of Cazador Dragoon then, yeah. So I think it's most important. So Portugal is going to go up now with which politician? Ethiopian Queen. Ethiopian Queen is a really good counter to longbowmen since the Shotel warriors that it gives you are basically a shock infantry with the multiplier against skirmishers, so yeah, good way to punish Brits for going longbowmen, I would say, and giving the Portuguese a bit more time to develop economy and their permanent military, yeah. Portugal now add in about 700 wood to reinforce their area. Very nice. We can add a barracks in, stable, maybe even a foundry. In response, interesting. So, it looks like Izad does know Sadice pretty well. And he did actually get a batch of muskets out too, so when the Shotels do arrive, he will be able to put those muskets in the melee and deal with them very quickly. Brits at this stage have about 12 manor houses, it looks like. Just looking at the pop available, so that'll be quite good for them there. About 14 longbows there. Portugal already in Fortress Age. Right now churning out double villager. Shipping in about 5 dragoons. So far they have about 8 cazador shipment, right? And then trained about 6 dragoon out of the stable. The Brit did add some hussars in too, so those dragoons will make some good use against those, yeah. Seems like Brits has the hussar advantage, but Portuguese of course have some dragoons too. Mind the dragoons there, you don't want those longbowmen picking them off so easily, so you're gonna have to be careful retreating with those things, yeah. This is where Portuguese becomes really ferocious. Now they got all 3 of their town centers down. Now they can start going for a triple villager boom there. Leading to some really good economy. Also Portuguese gonna pick up the organ guns too to deal with the infantry, I think, as well as maybe siege a bit. Portuguese going for the last unit shipment in Age 3, the 8 Halbs. Also still maintain 3 villager economy. Brits are going to start going in Age 3 themselves. They producing a bit of longbowmen as well. We'll probably see Yeoman and siege archery here, I think. Definitely. Adventurer politician will grant the Brits some more longbowmen, so even more archers there. Vet longbow, vet hussar, and then falconets for the Brits. Also has most of the manor houses except 2, which is good.
Commandement.
Oh boy, you got hussars on your bills there. Dragoons will have to intercept that. Thankfully, it's the Portuguese, so they have been booming there for such a long time now that losing a few vills is pretty inconsequential. Yeah, you can just retrain them anyways through the 3 TC cube. Yeah. Brits Yeoman is coming in now to add more range onto the longbows and give them some more damage against the heavy infantry. Yep, retreat, retreat, you got longbows on you. Longbows on you. Thankfully, Sidise got enough organ guns too, because the thing I was concerned with there was longbows just sniping his organ guns pretty easily with their rate of fire in long range. But once you get enough artillery like that, the longbowmen do have to be careful. Brits and some pikemen in. Pikards. And Pikards in, probably the Russian Dragoons, I would assume. Big time. Veteran pikemen too. Second wood chop and take log flumes coming in too, so that should help with production of longbowmen and pikes there. Adding in cav combat for both the Dragoons and potentially Hussars too. Yep. One thing to note though with Portuguese, they have Dragoon combat, which adds 5% more stats to their Dragoons than the cav combat card would, so Portuguese Dragoons are going to be statistically stronger here in any potential matchup. Yep.
Estou ferido, não me posso mexer.
Which treasure was this? The herdable one? Yeah, not that good. Might have misclicked. Ooh, Sidisi uses gold. Yeah, I was gonna wonder if he was going for industrial age now. Yeah, well now he's at 199 population, so Sidisi could fit in an age 4 while this stock up is going on. Very little fighting. But it does look like Brits will be pushing in though, with veteran pikes leading the way, and veteran hussars, and veteran longbowmen too. Oh, Sidisi even added culverins in as a precaution against British artillery trying to fight the Organs, which I think is pretty nifty. Ooh, industrial age with engineer, so 2 more organ guns, right? Yep.
Já me sinto mais forte.
Oh man, Izad's right in Portugal's base. Look at this. Izad right where he needs to be now. Taking out the TC and the surrounding villains. Yeah. So Sidise will have to come up with something here and counteract it, yeah. Still has a town center, right? The one over here, so still got the age up. He'll also get a covered wagon since every Portuguese age up except the Imperial age gives you a free covered wagon. So Sidise will actually recover a bit with this age up.
Preparado? Qual é a sua ordem?
Alright, TC will go up over here. Oh man, Izad changed his longbowmen to rangers. Wow, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah. Ooh, the Brittle Triad and Cheyennes too. I think Cheyenne will do great here since they have a melee attack against cavalry. Even though they are considered cavalry themselves, they still sort of act like a skirm in the sense that they have good hand attack and stuff, but also can wipe out. What's going on here? Wait a second. Queen's Rangers. Oops, so going through another world of Creed there. Yeah. Alright, Pikeman going for his seeds there. Very good. Intense fight. Izad is also industrial age now, and he is able to get his dragoons up the guard. Very, very chaotic. This Brit doesn't have Gentleman of the Pike though, because I think Gentleman of the Pike would have been a really good pick here since it would have effectively got these up the guard pikemen quite easily. And yep. So these say pushing in hard, and he's got his dragoons up to the Legion too. So, oh wow, wait a second now, wait a second. He also got Order of Aviz, right? Order of Aviz. This is a very critical card for Portugal. It actually adds 2 range onto the dragoons, allowing Portuguese dragoons to outrange all other dragoons in the game for the most part. Almost give them the same range as a skirmisher. So, once you get all the Portuguese cards on the dragoons, they become like a real serious threat. You know, obviously they'll have a bit of extra range to deal with these pikemen too, as you'll see. Please, GG. Yeah, I don't think Isaac can keep up against Royal Guard Portuguese Legion dragoons that have Order of Aviz already on them. Yeah, definitely not. Absolutely not. Certainly. Let's go into the next one now. The second game of Izad versus Sidiste. Should be quite good. Let's see what we got. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Almost there. This one here on Saguenay. Oh, so that, yep, that's Sidise's other Sid, by the way, is the Swedes. And then Izad will be going as China. So we got a Chinese versus Sweden. A very tight matchup for Saguenay, absolutely. So a lot could happen here, a lot could happen. But we'll have to watch it very closely. I'll say for sure, if you're Sweden, you're definitely not going to have to worry about step riders as much, because the Carolinians can just shut them down at range pretty easily, so that's always good. Yeah. Goes for 1 Torp. Actually gonna go for double Torp. Yeah. I think we explored the other day that Sweden has the option of either going 1 Torp and a trading post, or going 2 Torps basically. So yeah, got multiple options there pretty much. Certainly. Let's see what Sidise is running here for a deck. 1V. So you got Blueberries, Engleworks, Dominion, 3 Vills. Looks pretty normal Swedish. One thing that looks a bit different though is this. 11 Vasa allies. I never quite considered that card before, but I suppose it could work quite good in your favor, I guess. Definitely. Basically, the Vasa Royal Arquebusiers are skirmishers that have hand armor instead of pierce. So, a little bit better in melee than they are at range. As you know, with the Swedes, these Torps can gather from natural resources, they can gather from this mine, they can gather from the berry bush, they can even gather from trees and dead animals, too. You see these like blue and green and yellow rings? This means that the Torp is actually gathering from it. So, just keep that in mind. Ezag going up with the French consulate allies from his T-Export consulate there. Gonna pick up the 400 food. Get a nice expedient age up. Very nice. Yeah, pretty much when you run China, you're always going to go for this card here called the T-Export. Gives you a free consulate, 200 wood value. It also gives you 100 export, so you can get an alliance right away. And then it trickles you 0.35 export trickle for the rest of the game. So, yeah, there's really no better cards for trying to start with, I would say. Definitely. Especially in a competitive 1v1 scenario like this. So, it's kind of similar to the last series. We're going to see a French consulate allies into Summer Palace. It was enough to beat Aliug, but will be enough here to beat Sidiste? That's a good question. Wow, already up to 4 torps there for Swedes, right? Yep. All you have to know about the Swedishes is basically you're going to typically be able to get about 4 torps on one mine. So at the end of the day, the best situation you could find your Swedish in is basically having about 5 mines captured usually. That way you can have about 4 torps on each of them. Bring in the maximum generation of those mines and animals and trees that they're near. Yep. Gonna go Dominions first. I used to think that sending the wood card first was always smart, because I didn't really think the effects of Dominion were that great, but actually, going Dominion first actually makes a ton of sense as Sweden, because basically gives you a bunch of house wagons, and then you can basically place them anywhere you want without the villagers having to stop and put them up, which obviously is saving a bit on the villager seconds, because the wagons are doing the work for you and your settlers can not have to worry about it. Yeah. Already has enough to capture a second mine, and is going to look for sticking his tendrils into both of these mines too with about 1 torp. Yeah. Sweden opens up with Hussar, looks like. We see about 4 here, and it's about to try another one. Wow, did Ezad really get to siege a torp there? That's pretty good. That's going to cripple the Swedes a bit, yeah. How many, so Sidiste has about 10 Hussars there, not bad. He's also going to throw in some Caroliners too as a nice range unit backbone, and obviously range multipliers against heavy cavalry will go pretty far too here from his China opponent, because here's the unfortunate truth about the Chinese in this situation. The Chinese, their 2 most elite units just happen to be heavy cavalry, so yeah, Sweden able to do mass Caroliners could really punish that quite well, because because of the tag differences. Just picking up Bengal Works right now. This allows the mines that the Torps are, dealing with to gather about 100% faster, so about double. Yep. All those emergency troops that Izak called out should probably be cooked now, right? Yeah. And Izak just hit Fortress Age 2, so he's got the Confucian Academy there, and he can basically receive flying crows over time for free there, which is great. It's like this, yeah. Oops, I accidentally clicked on something. Definitely. Yeah. So it looks like Izzet's gonna ship in Qingdao and add in a territorial bear army, which is a mixture of food and gold. One double territorial army, that could be pretty solid. Qingdao's and Arquebusiers. I personally prefer Chukanus and Quangs in Age 4 though, with the Reforms card, personally. Here comes the meteor hammers now too. Swedes training in more Hussar and more Caroliner. Actually picking up the team House of Bernadotte to get the HP up on all the heavies, including pikes and Caroliners. Also, Sidise has lost his resource card for aging up, so Is he gonna try to duke it out with like 2 lever cans and spies and royal decree? Good question. Sweden's gonna add in a fish boom. I remember this. I remember seeing Sidise do this. I think it was on the round of 64. He actually did on this map. He built a dock and started doing the fishing booming alongside his normal stuff, which was pretty cool. Tons of market techs up by Sidise now. Yep. Picking up the Kree hit point tech there as well to beef up especially his Hussars, but a bit his Caroliners too. So he's going to be striking in from this side, right? And now everybody's up to H3 as well, so got your 2 Falconets there for the Swedes. And the Chinese, they're going for Biang Army to get all their step brothers and Kijiks up to veteran and sends a number of each of them, so it's quite a good value. Moment of truth. Can these Arquebusiers kite off the Carolinas properly and whittle away at them, or will it be the opposite? One Flying Crow versus 2 Falconets. I think the Falconets usually win here. Yeah. The Flying Crow definitely has more splash, but more concentrated damage the Falconets win typically. So in this situation, what Ezad's doing is trying to just keep the Flying Crow out of the range of the Falconets in general so they don't snipe them. Looks like he will snipe it though. Yep, there you go. That's what I'm saying. 2 Falconets is always going to be a pretty iconic artillery shipment in AoE 3 just for that. Beats Gatling guns, beats Flying Crows, just works. Just works across the board, yeah. And now it looks like Ezad's going into his British consulate allies and he's at an intervention, so he gets about 9 free veteran muskets, which should be quite good since China doesn't have the ability to train musketeers of any kind. Sad, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see what happens on this side here. Because it looks like China already has another Flying Crow, but the Falconets still stand. Pretty much impervious. Calls in the big. Also, China's double fishing there. It looks like 2 dock fishing, so a ton of fishing boats, tons of food and gold. But I think Sinise is doing the same though, so it might be a literal water wars up there eventually. Yeah, maybe the war of the waters. Okay, so Falconets get a good shot on the Arquebusiers is there. Very good. Swede's also going to pick up military drummers so that the Carolinas can run a bit faster and kind of behave like Shigumas or Ashigarus almost, because now they'll have a movement speed of 4.68. Isn't that faster than an Ashigaru Musketeer? So they'll be able to maneuver even better in that case, right? Oh yeah, big time. Here comes that, which card is that for Sweden? Oh, Blackberries. Yeah, Blackberries is always a nice card because it gives each Torp a berry bush containing 1,000 food, basically, so that's good. And if I recall, it's an infinite card too, right? So you can use it multiple times. It's great for just exponentiating your food stockpile, I think, for an industrial age here, most likely, I would say. Yeah. Looks like Izad's winning the water wars, though. Yeah, absolutely. Because he got canoes from his Kree site, and he's also using a war junk here as well. Basically, the Chinese version of the Caravel. Oh man, look at that. Wrong place at the wrong time there with the Anmors. That's enough to GG, right? Absolutely. Ugh. Scary stuff. Saw that with my eye and I'm like, whoa! Wow! Yeah, absolutely. Ugh. Big time. Gafas got brand new woman and Gringos talking about fish booming. FBE moment right there. Oh yeah, FBE would be talking about fish, right? Drawing fish all the time. At least Gringo's working. Oh yeah, absolutely. At least I'm employed, man. That stinky little Filipino boy doesn't even work at all. Just sits in his basement and draws fish. Quite a scary situation there. Of all the things you could do unemployed, why would you draw fish? I don't know, man. Like, at least play Age of Empires 3 if you're going to be unemployed. I did when I graduated college for about a year, so yeah, definitely. Alright, I think I'm about done now. I don't think I'm going to be able to chug through much of this anymore without falling asleep. We'll do the rest of the 2 series tomorrow, or today technically. We'll do it around Sunday, I think around either 9:30 or 10 or 11. Hopefully a bit earlier so I have a bit more energy going in. But yeah, thank you for coming, everyone. See, 5 of you are still here, so you definitely enjoyed this. Sign off now. See you tomorrow for the rest of the 2 series.